Hey, good morning. It's Friday. It's Patricia Murphy. This is Seattle Now. What a week. Seattle gets first place in the vaccination race, and some lucky Washingtonian is $250,000 richer. We're breaking down the week with Terry Hollimon and Marcus Trufant. But first, let's get you caught up. Amazon is changing its tune on employees returning to the office. Back in March, the company said it would return to an office-centric culture and move away from remote work. That didn't sit well with some employees. Yesterday, Amazon said it would embrace a hybrid model with employees in the office a minimum of 3 days a week and the option to work remotely the other 2 days. Employees can even ask their supervisors for permission to spend more time away. If you're collecting unemployment in Washington, get ready to document your search for work again. Governor Inslee had suspended that particular requirement last spring due to the pandemic. But as of July 4th, you'll be required to start keeping track again to keep receiving benefits. The change comes as the department reports a drop in claims for the third straight week. And Starbucks has been thriving during the pandemic, which might be coming back to bite them. The New York Times reports the company's stores across the country are having huge supply issues. They're running out of specialty flavors, breakfast sandwiches, even cups and lids. Luckily, Seattle is filthy with independent coffee shops, so you're all in good hands until things get back to normal. Well. It's Friday again, and it looks like Seattle is head of the class when it comes to vaccinations. This week, we became the first major city to hit a 70% vaccination rate. Eat our dust, San Francisco. And that's fully vaxxed. We are a very big deal right now. Terry Hollimon is here, co-host of the Barbershop and a former UW Husky. Terry, you just joined the 70% club. Second shot this week, man. How'd it go?
Oh, my goodness. I got my second shot on Tuesday, and I got to be honest with you. It put me on my butt. It knocked me out, man. But now I'm back, and I'm moving. I'm good to go now, and I'm fully vaccinated, so no masks for Terry.
Yeah, my anxiety brain still wants most of the other 30% to get queued up now. Marcus Trufant is here, too, former Seahawk and WSU Cougar, co-host of the Barbershop. Marcus, you're a former pro athlete. Under what circumstances is 70% enough?
You know what? Usually 70% is not good enough, but I think we'll be okay. I'm one of those guys that we want to get past this, move forward. We want businesses to ramp up and get back going. I'm an entrepreneur, so I need these people to come back to doing stuff. So I'm good with it. Yeah. And, we're crowning our first quarter millionaire this week. Somebody won $250,000 just for getting vaxxed. The Seattle Times says the state is in touch with that person. All of this is so that we can get to that magic 70% of Washingtonians with at least their first dose, because if we hit that sooner than June 30th, we can reopen. June 30th is the latest. And we're stuck kind of in the mid-60s right now, so we're rolling out all these prizes. This is funny, though. The big $250,000 one is the draw. The state is having a hard time getting people to pick up the phone to tell them they've won the lower prizes, like the Xboxes and the sports tickets. So a lot of voicemail.
Let's just be honest, though. Maybe I'm telling on myself here. The blessing and the curse is the caller ID on the phone. And do you ever pick up calls from numbers you don't know? Do you normally do that? Because I don't.
Never.
I will never. If you call me from a number that I don't recognize, I'm not answering. Just to give you an example, late last week I kept getting this call from a number I didn't recognize, and finally I was like, okay, let me call it back later on in the day. I forgot my car is in the shop.
Oh wow!
And they would call me and tell me my car was ready. So it's a good and a bad, but most people don't answer calls if they don't know the number.
I might be in that small percentage, T. I tend to answer calls I don't recognize. One, because I usually know what it's about. It's usually some type of call or somebody trying to sell something or somebody trying to do something. So I kind of like the banter and the going back and forth. I like to ask questions. I like to get involved with it.
Marcus is lonely.
And not all the time, yeah. I need some conversation. COVID's been having me down, so, I just answer those random calls. But I know what you're talking about, though, T. Not answering the phone. And to take it a step further, people don't clean out their voicemail. So in some of these cases, people may miss it all the way around because they got 1,000 voice messages and they need to clean that out and you can't leave a message. I got a lot of friends that are like that, and I call them and I can't even leave a message. So that's where the text comes in.
But how sick would you guys be if you missed the call for $250,000? Like, how sick would you be?
Throw up sick.
Throw up sick. You know what would happen is I would only get clued in when the state said, we can't reach the winner. That's when I might go back and realize I have 30 voicemails.
Let me check and make sure that I'm not one of those people, right? Yeah.
Just want to double check. Well, all of this, though, just a little incentive, right? Like a beer or something to say thanks for doing your part to keep us all safer from COVID. Of course, there is always a crabby person. It's usually me, but state lawmaker Jim Walsh called this shot of a lifetime idea embarrassing. He said it was a vulgar prize scheme to manipulate the masses. In fact, the Aberdeen Republican said it reminded him of the Hunger Games, which is weird because, of course, that is not about keeping people alive.
Hunger Games is an awesome movie. I just want to throw that out there. Awesome movie.
Speaking of living, Jeff Bezos says the first thing he's going to do after stepping down as Amazon CEO is take a rocket to space, guys. He is also auctioning off one seat, and right now that bidding is around $4 million, which will get you a pretty short ride on Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket. Who's going to space? You guys, money's no object.
I would go. I would have to talk to my wife and kids, of course. And I usually don't get to make my own decisions, as you could hear, so I have to check in first. But yeah, think it'd be cool.
Terry, would you do it?
Absolutely not. I'm not going on the spaceship. I'm done. No, cancel it. And, I understand rich people, like to do eccentric things that other people can't do, like go swimming with the sharks and, bungee jump and all that crazy stuff. But I have a phobia of things that are really like infinite, like deep ocean water. I don't want to go across deep ocean water because I don't know what's way down there, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to go into outer space because I don't really know what's out there. Like, if something goes wrong, nobody's coming to help me. There's nobody coming to space to help me if I fall out of the ship.
All right, wait, no. The flight lasts 11 minutes in total from launch to touchdown. You'll get a few minutes of weightlessness and some views of Earth.
Sign me up.
And then the capsule descends.
Sign me up. 11 minutes? Let's go.
It's supposed to be a soft landing. Capsule looks pretty sleek. Very first class. Space ticket meets Vanagon. Big windows.
Yeah, no. Still no. Absolutely no.
I would sign up for it, especially if it's only 11 minutes. So I'm down.
Well, bidding's still open, man.
Right.
It's still open. Bezos has taken his little brother, Mark. Did either of you see this video? He sprung it on him. I saw it in his eyes. He was like, what? No.
Yeah, he was pretty hyped about that situation. But, and again, you might be asking the wrong person, but if I'm the brother of the richest man in the universe, I'm like, man, couldn't you come up with something different that you could have gifted me, man, other than the trip to space? Like, I could use my own private island. Jeff, hook me up, man.
You one of those guys, T? And you going to turn down a gift? So you're the guy that we got to put the receipt in the gift, right, and make sure, because you're one of those guys, huh?
I would exchange my rocket ship trip from my brother. Like, give me the receipt, and I'm taking it back.
Look for the re-gift, Marcus. Look for the re-gift.
I see. And now I know.
I'm exchanging this for a Lamborghini, brother. Sorry.
Oh, that's funny. We should also mention that this week was the week we learned Jeff Bezos has paid 0 in taxes. This was a ProPublica story. We don't actually know where they got the info from, but I am sure Bezos has already got his space accountant looking into things.
I like that.
Yeah. Is there taxes in space? Maybe that's why he's going to space, because it's uncharted territory where he can set up a colony with no taxes.
There's always a loophole. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel necessarily about this. I know that, they are taking advantage of legal loopholes. The way that our tax code was written allows for wealthy people and corporations to avoid paying their share of taxes. And until that tax code is changed, I think they're just going to continue to keep taking advantage of it. And there's really nothing we can do about it. It's unfair because the amount of taxes that they could and probably should be paying would serve the public so greatly. I mean, it would take up, some of the deficits that we're facing here as a nation. And I think some things to be changed.
Can we be mad, though, T?
I'm not mad.
Because if the loophole is there, and, I say it all the time, if you ain't cheating, if you ain't trying, right? And that goes for sports. But they need to fix the codes and stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, they just need to figure out a way, because, they're getting away because they're taxing income. And people who will make income, living check to check, or people who go to a job every single day, not consider these people who are entrepreneurs, own these corporations and whatnot, and they find a way to shelter their money. And I just think there needs to be a different way about it. I mean, at the end of the day, when you make, $50, $60 billion, I mean, how many more billions of dollars do you need? And I hate to, tell somebody what they should be doing with their money, true.
Right.
But when you have 50 making billions of dollars every year.
I mean, it's never enough, though, T. It's never enough. And that goes for any level. There's levels to it. I understand that. But in any conversation, it's never enough. Even when you're talking about billions of dollars, you have 1 billion and you want 10 billion. And you know what I'm saying? So
that's an addiction. That's called an addiction, true.
It is.
All right, one more thing before we go. If it hasn't happened to you, it is the time of year where lots of baby birds are leaving the nest, and it is crow dive bombing season. Have either of you ever been swooped by a crow?
I have not officially been swooped, but I know people near and dear to my heart that have been swooped on. My dad has been somewhere, and a crow has swooped down on him and chose to use his sunglasses as a toilet seat. And he was very upset about that. And I live in an area where there's lots of trees, and these crows are pretty much like a gang around here. I get nervous when I leave my garbage can out because they come into the garbage cans and they just destroy stuff. So I'm done with the crows. I'm in fear of the crows.
Yeah, I've never been swooped on by a crow. I've had a bird, it wasn't a crow, fly into my car while I was driving down the 405 once. And
how did that go, T?
Not very well.
Did you pull over or did you?
Immediately. I pulled over so fast, I almost tore every car up that was in on the 405 in my near vicinity.
Evasive maneuvers, I like it.
But I will say this before we leave about crows. I recently did some research about crows, and they really have a complex, communication system. They're really almost like, I don't want to say they're like humans, but I found out that crows have funerals. And I found that out because I live out in a real exurban, rural area, and we had ducks that live on my property, and a coyote ate one of the little baby ducks. And we heard the crows just going crazy, like hundreds and hundreds of crows going crazy. I'm like, what's going on? I Googled it, and crows have funerals. They don't even have funerals. They have wakes, funerals, body viewings. It's crazy, man. Google it. You guys out there listening? Google crow funeral. They're real.
Yeah, we did a show about it this week, and a lot of people got in touch with us about stories. One woman said she couldn't use her backyard for 2 weeks because they had a crow baby back there, and every time she would come out, she would get...
Wow.
Yeah. People protecting their babies, true.
So, wait, but I got the right to defend myself too, right? I know crows got their space, I got mine, so it's a little gray there. I want to be safe. I want to be able to go in my backyard and hang out and not have the fear of being dived on by the gang of crows. So,
the murder of crows. The murder of crows.
That's our show for this week. Thanks again to my guests, the Barbershop, Terry Hollimon and Marcus Trufant. Where can people hear more of you guys besides right here?
Well, actually, we have been taking a little break from doing our podcast. COVID kind of set us back a little bit, but we are about to revamp things and get it running again. You can find us on the Barbershop Barbershop206.com is where our website is, and we are about to start dropping some new shows on you guys. Also, on Facebook, we have a group called The Official Barbershop. You can log on there and find out what we got going on and listen to all the crazy people in there talking.
Barbershop reboot is coming soon, so hey.
All right, Terry and Marcus, thanks so much. Appreciate it, you guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
That's all for today. Jason Pagano produced today's show. Our production team is Clare McGrane, Caroline Chamberlain Gomez, and Diana Opong. Matt Jorgensen does our theme music. I'm Patricia Murphy. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.